While my friends prefer to oink, I just have to bark. Long story short, I have a few things to announce. As much as I love the barn, my proper dwelling is the house.
So this hog has actually take on the identity of a dog.
All things theology, all things theology. We chop it up properly without an apology. Gotta get that theology to God, hallowed be, cause this is how we do it at All Things Theology.
Oh, grace and peace. Welcome back to an episode of All Things Theology, where this is your host, K-Dub. Today, we are going to talk about one of my favorite artists. I mean, one I've been influenced by, and that is brother Shai Linne.
This boy can breathe.
My brother Shai Linne, he dropped a song not too long ago. It's called Farm Talk, A Modern Parable. Man, and I think this song is excellent, but it's one of those creative, you got to put on your thinking cap. You're going to probably have to listen to this 5-10 times to get many of these themes he's trying to bring out. And I think one thing I do like about Shai Linne is he's an excellent storyteller. If you don't believe me, check out the album Stories. Great album, glorifying our Lord Jesus Christ and many biblical themes. And this song is, it made me like Christian rap again. It made me remember liking Christian rap again and got me excited. But hey, let's go through this and let's talk about some things. All right.
Once upon a time, in a land full of charm, there lived a great man, and this man owned a farm. We'll call him Farmer. He did no one any harm, built the entire farm with the strength of his arm.
So the narrator starts the scene describing a farmer who's built this whole land. He's built everything by his own power. And so that's where our first scene takes us, or our first narration takes us in. But the story's going to take a turn, and it's going to get very interesting. Man, I'm already excited about it.
One day something happened that was cause for alarm. It started with the conversation held inside the barn between a horse, a hog, a chicken, and a frog late at night, away from the thickness of the fog.
Okay, so there's a chaotic scene that arises, right? So the first scene presents us with beauty, peace, right? The farmer's wisdom even. But then we have a plot going on inside the very barn that the farmer built, right? Very interesting scene, right? Between, it's a horse, a hog, a chicken, and a frog, right? This late night rebellion going on.
It wasn't the first meeting, they met many times before, inclined to pour into each other behind the door, which was a portal for moral lessons, important questions. The normal expression of this would be formal addresses, where each was unleashed to give a speech, to teach or even preach, in order to impeach or beseech. The first to speak on this particular evening was the hog. He began by acknowledging the horse, chicken, and frog.
Okay, before we get to this, we have again this meeting place. There's been this plot going on for quite some time, where they would dive into important issues. Is this meeting place going on between farm animals, right? Well, the song starts off like, okay, what's going on? This meeting place with animals? What's going on, K-Dub? Stick around. There's gonna be, remember, it's a parable. Let's see what we can figure out some more about this with the hog that starts to echo his concerns about the farmer.
To my distinguished guests, thanks for lending me your ears. To me it's clear you've been dear peers for many years. I've been wanting to speak for a minute, but I have been limited by my fears. Here's the gist: everything is not as it appears. My dear Mr. Horse, Miss Chicken, Mr. Frog, I know that when you look at me, what you see is a hog. But since I can remember, I've never felt like a hog. In the deepest part of me, I've always known I was a dog.
Whoa, hold on, Mr. Hog. So the hog voices his concern, right, that he's been limited by some fears for quite some time. And he's addressing his audience, his peers, his fellow man, and telling them, hey, he's never felt like a hog. All his life, he's actually felt like a dog. So let's continue with this theme here that we got going on. What is going on with this hog? He seems a bit confused.
Instance, when I'm happy, I love wagging my tail, and I never like the slop farmer smashed into my pail. I prefer dog biscuits, I sneak them after dark. While my friends prefer to oink,
the bark. Long story short, I have a few things to announce. As much as I love the barn, my proper dwelling is the house.
So this hog has actually take on the identity of a dog, right? Notice the themes that we have drawn out. Rather than doing pig things, he's doing dog things. When he gets happy, wags his tail, right? He doesn't like the slop like a pig would like. He would prefer dog biscuits. And he's actually sneaking them after dark, right? No oink but a bark. Notice this trading in we have going on. The hog doesn't even like the barn. He'd rather be a house pet, a house dog, right? Let's continue with this strange confession from the pig.
In order for me to get there, I have to make some changes. The very first thing is adjusting what my weight is. I'll stop eating slop, and as an overachiever, I'll shrink down to the size of a golden retriever.
Okay, hold on. Now this is just asinine for what the pig is asking for, right? So the pig recognizes, hey, because he doesn't look like the identity he is confessing, there has to be some kind of outward change, right? First thing he will do is slim down, right? You can't be this overweight pig-looking creature. So rather, hey, then he's going to stop eating the slop. He's going to trim down to a nice size golden retriever, right? What a creative line.
I know I can be the best friend that's lacking for the daughter. Instead of just settling, being fattened for the slaughter, I'll have a chat with Farmer. Surely he will make time. By the way, I'm from here on out to be called Canine. This concludes my speech then. No place for being subtle. I welcome all agreement, but please save your rebuttals.
Okay, so the hog has expressed his concern on the farm, and one of these things he says, hey, ultimately he doesn't want to be fattened for the slaughter, right? He can be a best friend for the daughter, right? And so, hey, he wants to be called canine. No longer does he wants to be a hog, right? But he wants to be called canine. And then he says, I welcome all, the line that got me, I welcome all agreement, but please save your rebuttals, right? It's like there's no room for disagreement in his speech. Wow. Okay, so there's the hog. Let's see what else has to say. Let's take it over.
Having made a passionate plea for his cause, the hog stepped down to near unanimous applause. After this, the chicken made her way to the podium. She said,
I'm honored to participate in this symposium. I know I am not alone when I say I'm moved with delight. What a great time for Canine to speak his truth tonight. I support him wholeheartedly from the deepest soul's part of me. And I will go hard indeed to help old farmers see that Canine should absolutely have the house as his home. That being said, I have an announcement of my own.
So the hen, right? The chicken actually steps up to the podium to confess her concerns, and applauding canine, right, which is actually the hog, right? Very interesting. But the chicken has some concerns of her own. Let's hear what she has to say.
It's slightly different, but it's still kinda like my friend. At the time that I hatched, I was assigned to be a hen. And hens are always female, cause we provide the eggs. Don't sleep on this detail, we're treated like the dregs. Through troughs we are fed, we're accosted and bred. They take all of our eggs, and it's off with our heads. A pitiful existence, it is so consistent. With farmers' literal malignance, this is my resistance.
Okay, so the chicken is expressing disdain for how they were made, the specific gender that they were created to be, or rather, as the chicken states it, assigned to be, or that the hen, rather, it's a hen speaking, called Mrs. Chicken, right? And so it get all confusing trying to keep up with these, new identity changes, right? So let's keep going.
You were in my corner when I was born a hen. Now I declare myself a male chicken cause I've been born again. I'll have a chat with Farmer. Surely he will make time and see my great mind when I confront him along with K9. The right.
So the hen has actually had a new identity change. And they've been born again. Wow. So this awakening has happened for the hen, the chicken now, right? Wow. Let's see what concludes with this.
His resistors will surely be the victors, and I'm no longer your sister, friends. You can call me Mr.
Having made a passionate...
Hold on, time out. So the chicken is, or rather the hen is now the chicken, right? No longer sister, wants to be called Mr. Wow. All right, what is the narrator preparing us for now?
Plea for her cause, the chicken stepped down to near unanimous applause. After this, it was the horse who approached the stage. He said,
I've seen a lot of things in my older age. I'll keep my comments very brief so I don't have to bore you. Bottom line, K9, Mr. Chicken, I'm happy for you. Our lives are so very short on this farm today. Whatever makes you happy, I support you all the way. Plus, who does farmer think he is trying to place limitations on you when you have the power of self-determination?
So the OG in this thing, Mr. Horse, right? He comes off expressing older age. The horse is supposed to be the one expressing wisdom. But actually, what we actually have is the horse affirming the insanity of K9 and Mr. Chicken, newly stated in their identity, right? And rather expressing their hatred, or rather their autonomy away from the farmer. But the horse has a little more to say. Let's see.
It's you and you alone who will define your purpose. If he wants thoughtless animals, he can find a circus. I use the rest of my time just to say that I'm appalled at Mr. Frog, the only one who did not applaud. If you do not affirm these animals, then shame on you. Make plain your view, because you got some explaining to do.
So the horse ends his vernacular with frustration at the frog, who hasn't clapped or applauded one time. This bigot, the frog. What does the frog have to say to this? Let's see.
With the horse having called out the frog's nonchalance, all eyes were on the frog waiting for a prompt response from his soon-to-be former friends. He felt mad scorn. Once his words had form, he stepped up to the platform. He said,
Hey, listen, guys, I'm not here to cause any trouble. Besides, Mr. Hog, K9 said no rebuttals. I didn't seem enthused. You perceived me to be aloof. But what kind of friend would I be if I didn't speak to you the truth?
So the frog, as nervous as can be, as rattled even, claims to have, hey, I still got to speak the truth to you. I know you're claiming this, but I have to speak the truth. Let's hear this truth that the frog is claiming.
Honestly, I have a different view, I must confess. But my disagreement doesn't mean I love you any less. It seems to me that you're confused concerning what is real, and that reality for you is determined by what you feel. That logic is mistaken, though. Let's just take it slow. Just because you feel that something's true, it doesn't make it so.
Just because you feel that something's true, it doesn't make it so. Oh, man.
This boy can breathe.
Let's go. So the frog comes out with some bars that are heavy, right? Expressing reality, truth, logic, as opposed to a postmodern epistemic, which is rooted in feelings and subjectivity. Let's see what else the frog has to say about this, because this is very interesting. I must say, hey, the frog has some valid points. We have to hear his case.
Like Mr. K9, let's say you feel you can fly. If you jumped off a cliff in your zeal, you would die. Mr. Chicken, you might feel you belong down in the ocean, but if you dove in, you would drown in your devotion. No matter how much you try to quack, you'll never be a duck. He oinks, he neighs, I ribbit, you cluck. As far as...
So the frog is expressing a nature claim, right? Hey, he says, like, hey, if the K9 felt he can fly, it doesn't matter if he felt that way. if you fly off a cliff, you're going to die, right? And does the same for the chicken, expressing, hey, just because you feel something is true about yourself, it doesn't make that the case. Wow, that's pretty weighty right there.
Go into the house, I love you enough to warn ya. Unless you want some karma, do not confront the farmer. Cause whatever you endeavor to propose by imitation, farmer has the power to expose your limitations.
That's a weighty line when you think about it, because though the animals express their different and new identity, the farmer doesn't care, right? The farmer is still going to treat them as the identity that they were created as, right? He's still going to go in, get those eggs, right, from the hen. You know, the pig's going to get pig things, right? And so, et cetera, et cetera.
When the frog was finished speaking, the horse was so enraged that he lifted up his hind hooves and kicked them off the stage. He flew so far away that they never saw him again. The group was all ashamed that they ever called him a friend.
So look at this. In their heated anger, the farm animals with a new identity remove the problem, the alleged problem, from their lives. No longer to have the frog as their friend. As a matter of fact, even ashamed that they actually considered him one. Oh, wow.
His vivid intolerance on exhibit made them livid. They never thought that with his ribbit he could be a bigot. With the frog out of the way, time for the plot to commence. Catastrophic events forthcoming with lots of suspense. They'll hop the fence with the mob of friends if he...
That's a crazy line right there. That is a crazy line. With the frog out of the way, time for the plot to commence. Catastrophic events forthcoming with lots of suspense. The wordplay of the song is actually crazy, like just from a pure, man, you like rap, right? Like, but there's some like weighty lines, and there's some lines like the fifth time you hear them, you'll be like, wait, what did he say? Those are in this song, right?
Not convinced they'll knock some sense into the farmer and stop his defense. If farmer met their demands, they wouldn't have to pounce. Just set Mr. Chicken free, let K9 in the house. They waited a couple of months for K9 to drop the weight. Found many other animals willing to cooperate.
Whoa, so they're expressing, hey, look, if the farmer would just oblige by their demands, then nothing wouldn't have to happen to him, right? So they're plotting together. They're actually commencing together with other animals to join in on their voyage to the house, to the farmer's house. Wow. Let's see what's about to happen. I'm waiting. I'm excited to see.
At the appointed time, all were gathered in the barn, with K9 as the leader of the animal farm. He gave a rousing speech, and when it was dark and late, he led them through the gate up to the farmer's estate. When they got to the door, the horse gave a knock. The door flung wide open, and K9 was in shock. It was the farmer's child, his son meek and mild. Their rage against the farmer made the animals go wild. Without hesitation, exerted all their power, attacked the poor child, and he was murdered and devoured.
Whoa, okay, so they go to the house filled with an angerful rage, and they take out the innocent son of the farmer? Well, you got to explain this. He's got to explain what's going on in this parable, right? Surely some of you are getting what's going on, but we will dive deeper into this story. Wow.
Oh, man, Shai. You can't end it like that, man.
Why not?
That's crazy.
Come on, Shai.
That's a horrible ending.
Yeah.
What, you want a Hollywood ending?
Come on, you gotta do something else, man.
Are you serious?
Can you end it another way, please?
All right, check this out.
Okay, let's get it.
At the appointed time, all were gathered in the barn, with K9 as the leader of the animal farm. He gave a rousing speech, and when it was dark and late, he led them through the gate up to the farmer's estate. When they got to the door, the horse gave a knock. The door flung wide open, and K9 was in shock. The farmer had his gun, animals start to run. K9 and Mr. Chicken shot down one by one. The very next morning, after the man awakened, the farmer had chicken, waffles, eggs, ham, and bacon.
Hey, the farmer got his grub on. You know, we're gonna get into some of this meaning of the story. Let's get the ending of this. We're almost done here.
You happy?
I mean, I guess that's a little better. it's still kind of dark, man.
Yeah, it is.
I don't understand. Like how does this all tie together?
Well, actually, they're both kind of true. Let me explain how.
Okay, so it seems there's going to be more to this story, but I want you to hear the end just to see the contributors who contributed to this song and to this video. So the narrator and the frog was Shai Linne. The hog was Braille. The chicken, played by Blair Lynn, which is Shai Linne's wife. The horse was Thomas. And DJ Essence played the farmer. And good to note, no animals were harmed in the making of this film. I thought this was such a creative song. Obviously, it's expressing this identity change, right, with what's popular in our society, but also there's an identity change that many of us have traded in for as well, though it may not be as drastic as some of those presented in this story. We've all had this desire to be unlike the creator has proposed, which is what the farmer represents, right? The creator. He built this whole land, right? And here we have rebellion. And how dare these animals come against him?
How dare you?
But it reminds me actually of what the psalmist says in Psalms 2. This is like, it's almost like this parallel was taken. It was taken from Psalm 2. Let me read this to you. It says, why do the nations rage? Why do the animals plot in vain, right? It says, and the peoples plot in vain. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together. You see the parallels with this play in Psalm 2? Against the Lord and against his anointing, saying, let us burst their bonds apart and cast away their cords from them. You know what verse 3 really signifies? That man wants no connection to God. Man, in our hostility to God, want nothing to do with him. You see that in that parable as well, right? But notice verse 4. He who sits in the heavens laughs. The Lord holds them in derision. And as I have always said, you don't want to be the end. You don't want to be at the end of God's laugh. It is not a good thing in the Bible. It says, then he will speak to them in his wrath and terrify them in his fury, saying, as for me, I have set my king on Zion, my holy hill. I will tell of the decree. The Lord said to me, you are my son. Today I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will make the nations your heritage and the ends of the earth your possession. Verse 9, listen to this. And you shall break them with a rod of iron and dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. See, that's what he did. He had the eggs, ham, and bacon. Right? Now, therefore, O kings, be wise, be warned. O rulers of the earth, serve the Lord with fear. Rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you perish in the way, for his wrath is quickly kindled. Blessed are all those who take refuge in him. I absolutely enjoy this song. I don't want to spoil some of the things you may catch on your own, so I don't want to give them all away. But I thought this was just a very creative way to, in a parable form, express what the Bible is actually teaching. And I'm definitely looking forward to the album. I'm definitely looking forward to the continuation of this song. So if you enjoy this song, go and put 100 in chat, because man, hey, support artists. Go stream his music. I love listening to Shai Linne's music. I would love to have Shai Linne, maybe after the album comes out, come on here and we talk about the album. Man, that would be that would be great for me. I've actually got to see Shai twice live before, and so hey man, maybe he'll come on and we can do some album promo on this channel for him, but also just to hey man, just honor someone who's been a pioneer in Christian rap for so long. And so hey, well, who knows what could happen. But as for now, go listen to the song Farm Talk, a Modern Parable. Hope you enjoyed this video. Till the next time, grace and peace. Yo, grace and peace. Thank you for watching another episode of All Things Theology. If you enjoyed what you heard today, go on and give me a like. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. I promise to give you weekly lives, videos, interactions, exposing false teachers, sharing with you, the viewer, my theological beliefs, things about the culture, and the Bible. So if you're here for that, come on and join us. Also, if you would like to support this channel financially, you can do so by becoming a Patreon member or a YouTube member. Links are in the description below. You can see content before it drops. You can also have Q&A sessions with also other Patreon members, YouTube members as well. So if you would like that, hit the description link in below.